like to welcome you here today to celebrate Tom Patton's life. Tom was born June 4th of 1964, and he departed March 8th of 2026. He was preceded in death by his mother, Laura Walton, a brother, Terry Walton, brother Ricky Walton, and an ex-wife, Christina Patton. He is survived by his children, a son, Thomas Patton Jr., a daughter, Nicole Beard, brother, Eric Walton, a niece, Nicole Rodriguez, and a niece, Vanessa Petty, and a nephew, Ricky Walton, and a girlfriend, Sherry DePonte. Also has grandchildren, Caleb, Carson, Owen, and Christina, and many nephews and nieces. At this time, we're going to have a song, and this song may seem different, but it's the Lord found Tom in a pit and brought him out and straightened his life out. So listen to this song.
When I think of where I came from and how Jesus brought me out from a life of shame and sorrows, lost in sin without a doubt, with all my heart I want to praise Him for the love He gave to me. When the precious hand of Jesus reached way down and rescued me from the depths of the pit, I tried so hard, but I couldn't touch Him. There in my despair, I cried so loud, yet it seemed He didn't hear me. Lost and undone, full of sin and so corrupt, God's hand reached further down than I could reach up. Like a man locked up in prison with no one to go my bail. Every time I sought for freedom, all endeavors only failed. There I was in sin's dark dungeon, bound in chains of misery, until the Lord paid me a visit, unlocked my cell, and set me free. From the depths of the pit, I tried so hard, but I couldn't touch Him. There in my despair, I cried so loud, yet it seemed He didn't hear me. Lost and undone, full of sin and so corrupt, God's hand reached further down, thank God His hand reached further down. I said His hand reached further down than I could reach up.
At this time, Eric is going to come up and have some words. me give him that.
Good afternoon. So, Thomas Patrick Patton was a man who loved and was loved, as everybody in this room can testify, and those of you online and those who came across him. As he said, my name is Eric Walton of the famous Tom and Eric. My mother had 4 boys, and she broke us into teams. There was Terry and Rick, and there was Tom and Eric. I'm the Eric. Tom and I were born about 13 months apart, and we spent our whole lives together. I'll tell you one of my favorite Tom stories to start. So when Facebook was big and Tom got into Facebook, he was posting and this and that, and I called him one day and I says, listen, brother, he says, I don't want to offend you. He says, but I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit following you on Facebook. Tom like, why? I says, well, you only talk about politics, religion, and football, and I don't like your choices in any of them. And he goes, well, that's okay, brother. I love you. But why you got to be hating on the Cowboys? Anyway, but before I get into this, what I want to do is take a minute and see if there's anybody else here who would like to tell a Tom story. There's got to be a lot of them. And as you know, there are people listening over the internet, so they can't really share them. So if you guys have a story you'd like to tell or something you'd like to say with regard to my little brother, now would be the time. And if you want, I can bring you the microphone or you can come up here, but we'd really like you to use the microphone because there are people online that will not be able to hear you otherwise. So, anybody want to talk? What about it, my man? You want to come? Come on. Okay. There you go.
Tell them you loved your papa, huh? It's okay.
It's okay. I got you. Come on up. Or do you want me to bring it to you? Sure.
Hi, my name is Peggy. Tom is probably one of the most generous, him and Chrissy both. They took my granddaughters in a long time ago when those girls were just little because they were not being taken care of, and he loved them and nurtured them and helped them to grow into beautiful women. And for that, I'm very thankful. He was always just a really pleasant guy to be around. My husband and I used to go, and he's passed away as well, my husband. But we used to go for birthdays and stuff like that, and he was one of a kind. I always loved him.
Are we talking about Mandy and Vanessa? Oh,
Yes.
yeah, great. Oh, great. Who else?
Hard. I've known Tommy all my life. We're best friends.
Can you tell us who you are?
I'm Dave Kennedy. Pete Sack, everyone knows me by. But I've seen him in the hospital. I've seen Tommy at his worst. I've seen him at his best. I've always loved him. We lived by each other for a while. He lived with me for a while back in the days, but him and Jeff Doherty, they both were my best friends, and they're both gone now. So, but he will be missed, and my love goes out to Sherry, the family, and he's with Jimbo. He's out there with Jim Rife.
Yeah. Who else? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. I am Nicole's best friend, Felicia, and I have been a part of Tom's life for the past 16 years. And I have been a part of his journey, watching him raise his kids and watching him take in other people's kids to help raise them, and watch him become a grandpa to all of his grandkids and that he loves very, very much. And watching him fall and get back up every single time. Every single time. And I am really glad that I got to be a part of his journey in life. And I'm really glad that I got to be there for his last moments as well, to be there for his family and for his kids and for his grandkids, because he is loved so much and he is going to be missed so dearly.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? I'm looking at you, bud.
I'll say something.
There you go, buddy.
How you doing, Blake?
My name's Buck. I met Tom in or around 1990 at Salvation Army in Stockton. We went through program together. As it ended up, we were in the same room together, and we really didn't like each other. But we became very close. After we got out, we hooked up. We did just an enormous amount of meetings together. We used to go to the races all the time together. He became a very good friend. I got him a job out in Wheatland at the Jones Company, where he worked for, 10 years, something like that. And he kind of fell off the wagon a little bit and had a mishap, but you know what happens, he got back on it. Tom was a good man. I seen him at his probably his best. I didn't really talk to him much when he was at his worst again, but we always remained friends. And it's just a sad thing for his kids, for his grandkids, because he was still young. I mean, he's younger than me, and he is going to be missed. But I know TJ, I know Nicole. It's going to be tough, but time heals everything. And I know Sherry, not well, but I do know her, and I know that her and Tom cared a lot for each other. So that's really all I got.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, you're there a very interesting time, Tom's life. Anybody else? All right. I guess you all get to listen to me for a bit. When I'm done, though, if you do think of something you'd like to say, please go ahead and let me know, and we'll give you a shot. All right. So here's the thing with Tom. I began by stating that Tom was loved and loved. And I got to say that's pretty damn true. When my mother passed away, at her funeral, there was a big discussion about how much my mother's capacity for love was. It was amazing. Tom was her best student. It's the truth. From the day he came home, he came into a house, as he said, June of 1964, to a single mother who was already raising 3 boys. And Tom was always just a little bit different. As I mentioned, my mom put us into teams. Like I said, Terry and Rick were the older pair, Tom and I were the younger ones. So Tom and I did everything together. We were as close as 2 brothers could be. And from an early point, and I didn't realize this till I was older, Tom and I got along really well for brothers. We didn't fight. As a matter of fact, in our entire lives, we only had one fight. And that was late in our teens, because he really couldn't keep his mouth shut about this horrible girl I was dating. So, but my whole life, as I looked back on it once I was an adult, I knew my brother loved me, and I loved him. We were always there for each other, and all the way up. Now, as we got older, we kind of went different ways as different people. Him and I are very, very different guys. Facebook was only part of it. And so as he went one way, I went another. But we never lost touch. We never were estranged, never had any arguments as adults. The last few years, our relationship had settled into, we checked in on each other regularly on the phone and tried to have breakfast about once a month. As a matter of fact, we kept doing it even after I moved to Idaho. So Tom knew how to love from a really early age. As he got older, he started making friends, and he showed that same love to his friends. When he was around 12 or 13, he had a friend who was not having a decent home life, wasn't being taken care of very well. Tom's solution, hey mom, can Richie come live with us? Mom's solution, sure. So from that time on until Richie left home to get married, he lived there at that house as Tom's brother.
Is that Richie Slocum?
It is Richie Slocum. So, I mean, and Tom was just as close with his wife, Shirley. The three of them were like three peas in a pod for years. When I heard somebody mention Jim Rife, a childhood friend of his, again found himself in some kind of dire circumstances. What'd Tom do? Hey, Jim, come live with me. So him and Sherry cleared out a bedroom and moved Jim in where he lived until he passed away. Tom never forgot his friends. He never quit loving them, and they never quit loving him in return. In his late teens, he met a young lady by the name of Christine Petty. And let's just say that Tom's capacity for love hit a new high. And additionally, this woman came with a small child, one Nicole, known to the family as Pickle. And she's not in here, or I'd make sure she heard me say, I don't care, she can kill me. But Tom took to her like you would any daughter. And what did he do? Tom loved. And that girl loved him in return. A few years down the road, Tom, TJ, came into the world. Tom did it again. He could not have been happier. He not only had a son, he had a namesake. And did he love? One time, you may remember, I don't know, Tom and I and TJ, we went to Arkansas, drove there. 3 guys in a van. It's a 33-hour drive. Tom and I taking turns, TJ doing whatever he did. Now, that's a long ride for a lot of kids. And believe it or not, it was a little of a long ride for Thomas. And he got a little fussy. You remember this? Tom did the same thing every time to quiet him down, and it worked like magic. He would take TJ into his lap, and he would sing him a song. Do you remember the song? What was it? You are my sunshine. That was a level that I had never seen before with my brother. Just a depth. Also, our older brother passed. And he had 2 children, still does, Nicole and Ricky. What'd Tom do when their dad wasn't around? He loved. As Nicole puts it, he was the fun uncle. He was there for them. He loved them dearly like his own children. The young lady over there mentioned Mandy and Vanessa. Chrissy's nieces. At a certain point in their lives, they needed a place to live. What'd Tom do? He loved. He brought them in and treated them like his own daughters. He had it going pretty good. And then he slipped. And he fell into a bit of darkness. And he damn near lost it all. But he found solace somewhere. He found his God. Tom told me one time, now him and I didn't discuss religion much, but he did tell me one time, and these words kind of stuck with me, that when he found God, he felt worthy of love for the first time. He did. So, Tom loved. And he was loved. And he took that love to those that needed it. He began to speak at NA meetings, in the jails, to prisoners. He wanted everybody to experience what he had found. And it helped save him. He, then about this time, as good investments do, they pay off, Nicole blessed him with his first grandchild. That'd be Caleb. Followed by Carson, Mr. Owen, Christine. He now had a whole new generation to be the papa. And I got to tell you from my own personal experience, I know that feeling myself, and there's nothing better than being a grandfather. And Tom loved, and he was loved by these children. So, if that wasn't good enough, and she just walked out of the room, but he then found love again with Sherry. Now, a word about Sherry. I've known Sherry since school. We were kids together. And she was this funny, loud girl with bushy red hair and running around the neighborhood and freckles. And her and her best friend, Leslie, were inseparable, and they were everywhere. And they were lovely. Well, Tom and her reunited at some point. And what did Tom do? He loved. And Sherry loved back. And during the last years, some of the hardest years, because of Tom's health, she loved him like nobody I've ever seen. And honestly, I thank God every day, and I know he did too, for finding her. Again, I'm going to wrap this up because I didn't really have a ton to say, but Tom, he was a son, he was a brother, father, uncle, grandfather, partner, mentor, and friend. And in every one of those roles, what did he do? He loved. Say it with me, people. He loved. And he was loved. Anyway, that's really all I had time to say. I'm actually surprised I made it through it. Pretty good. I'm going to miss you, my brother. And I know the people in this room will miss you and love you. And the effects of that love are going to continue on long after we're all gone. So, thank you for that. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. At this time, we're going to have a slideshow, and so sit and enjoy.
All I want is nothing more, to hear you knocking at my door. 'Cause if I could see your face once more, I could die a happy man, I'm sure. When you said your last goodbye, I died a little bit inside. I lay in tears in bed all night, alone without you by my side. all I wanted and all I needed to find somebody. I'll find somebody like you.
My name is John, and I want to thank all of you for coming today to honor Tom. Thank you, Eric. And did you notice in most of his pictures was his children and grandchildren? I asked Nicole if it was okay if I shared this story today. She assured me that her dad would not mind if I did this at all. I met Tom, didn't know who he was. We do a program here, a substance abuse education class that I facilitated at the Yuba County Jail. And we'd bring speakers in, and sometimes I would speak. And on that day I was speaking, I was in B-Pod, and so when I'm introducing everything, and I'm just, to be honest with you, I'm young, I'm naive, I'm in my early 30s. Buck's laughing at me because Tom laughed about this afterwards. He reminded me of this. So I'm introducing myself. I'm John, and I told everybody in B-Pod, you guys get out of here, give me a call, bring you over to my house and feed you lunch. This is what I did. And I gave him my cell number, gave him my number, and Tom was there. And out of all those guys, Tom called me. He took me up on that offer. I met Tom, and from that day until today, Tom and I built a 32-year friendship. He's a very loving guy, easy to get to know. And when I was thinking about Tom, I can't think of Tom without the Four Musketeers. Buck knows what I'm talking about. They did a lot of stuff together. We did a lot of things together. And it was Tom, Daniel Norris, Rick Duncan, and Buck. I think they all had Harleys. I did a lot of praying for them. I don't know if they were all Dallas Cowboys fans, but I'm just telling you right now, Tom was a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. And don't take this wrong, I couldn't wait for him to lose. And then I would call Tom up. I go, hey bro, how's it going? It was not a good day to call. I mean, he did the same thing to me. My team was the 49ers. He'd call me up when we lost all the time, man. And he was, and some of the things I loved about, besides the fact, and Sherry knows this, and Nicole and his son Tom, that when they talk about how much Tom loved, Tom really, 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 truly loved his children and his grandchildren. I almost got tired of listening to him. Brag on his kids, brag on his kids, brag on his kids. Every time, which I'm sure that's what parents do, but he loved his children and his grandchildren. One of the delights, I think, of Tom's life is when he asked me if I would marry Nicole here in the church. And I'm glad we were able to do that. Another thing that I appreciated about Tom did not hide things from me. He did not. He was and through the years of knowing people, and often when I get to know somebody, and I know you know this, and I'll just be honest with you, Tom's passing totally caught me off guard. Completely caught me off guard. Tom and I are very close in age. And I would tell people I make friendships with that are coming into recovery. And
and even including John Mulliken, I would tell him, I said, look, I'm not here just for you in the good, I'm here for you in the bad. I said, if you are ever having a hard time, I want you to call me. Am I right, John? I will come get you. I'm going to take you somewhere. We're going to have some coffee, and we're going to chill, and we're going to be friends together. Tom always took me up on that. He would call me. Tom would call me at 2 o'clock in the morning. I could still hear Tom's voice in my head. And he would say, John, he goes, I'm not in a good place right now. I knew exactly what he was saying. And so I'd get with him, I'd pray with him, I would love on him. What I loved about Tom is Tom did not stay in that place. He would recover. He would get better. I think some of that is the Lord's love in his life and his faith. And the other thing was Tom's love for his family. He wanted to be healthy and good and strong for his family. It motivated him. And I was telling Buck, when I look at you, you are the last of the 4 Musketeers. Are you still riding a Harley? Okay. It's been more time. Even though Tom's gone, his faith still lives on. Because there's so many promises of our faith that the Lord promised us is many beautiful things. And the last time I saw Tom, Tom did not always tell me when he was in the hospital, Sherry. Sometimes he would call me, sometimes he wouldn't call me. And I was over at the hospital working, and I got a phone call, and Tom's on and it was Tom. I didn't know he was in the hospital. So when he tells me that he's in the hospital, he didn't call me from his hospital phone. So I ran down to the room that he was in, and I could tell immediately when I was with him that he was not doing well. He was not. And I felt the anxiety and fear in him. I could just feel it. And he told me, so I hugged him, held his hand, prayed with him. I can't remember if he got out, but he ended up back in the ICU, and I went up there to visit him. I'm going to tell you what lives on. For sure what lives on is Tom's love. That's what lives on. When I think of Tom, we're all known for something. And you're right, Eric. He was a guy of love. Tremendous love. That's what I liked about Tom. I still feel his love. There's a scripture that says to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Tom lived with that hope. I don't know if I'm the one that led Tom to the Lord. I just know that I baptized him. He came here for a long period of time. I enjoyed his friendship. I loved and enjoyed Tom's friendship. We traveled together when we did John W.'s funeral. All the way up in the mountains to do a military significant funeral up there. I spent a lot of time with Tom. I'm not going to forget him. I hope I can love as much as Tom loved. So Sherry, to the family, praying. I don't say that to you frivolously. Been praying for you. Been praying for the kids and the grandkids. So I'm going to get to see Tom again someday.
Yes.
Probably take me around and show me what's going on to the home crew. He probably is. Probably trying to call me right now. So, amen. God bless you. Brother Mulliken's going to come.
I too love Tom. Matter of fact, I think he burnt the tires off our van, didn't he?
He did.
Picking people up. And he helped for years. And I wanted to read a poem today. And it's called The Dash. It's that little dash you see up there between the dates. It represents our life. It represents the time that we spent. And as you can hear here today, that Tom spent his time well. Yet that dash represents everything. The times we laughed, every tear we cried, every prayer we've prayed, every battle fought, every burden carried, every person loved. It's amazing. That little dash is a symbol of our whole life. A whole lifetime of hard work and sacrifices and victories and failures. And one thing that Tom was taught is when you fall down, get up. Because everybody falls down. We all have those times when we get overwhelmed and it seems like we're in a mess, and I've had mine. He had his, but we taught him to get up. You know, nobody in this room knows how long their dash is. Some are long, some are short. But thank God that he doesn't measure a life merely by its length, but he measures a life by its impact. It's not how many years we're in the life, it's what's done with the years that we're given. And Tom did his well. The question isn't, how long did I live? The question is, how did I live? Did I love God? Did I love my family? Did I forgive? Did I serve? Did I make a difference in lives of others? And as we heard here today, that's certainly what Tom did. You know, we're not going to remember the times that of problems, because when the day comes that our story is told, people won't spend time talking about possessions. There's a statement that's been made many times that says I've never seen a hearse pulling a U-Haul. You know, we're not going to be taking our stuff with us, but what we're celebrating here today is the love that Tom gave to each and every one of you, including myself in this room today. That's the faith we've lived by, the love we gave, the memories that we left behind. Today we honor a life we honor Tom's dash. And while we reflect on his dash, it reminds every one of us that we are still writing ours today. So if I could challenge you, because many times I heard Tom challenge others. Every day is another sentence in this story. Every day is another page to be turned in that chapter. Another opportunity to make our lives count for God and for others. And that brings me to the poem that I chose for today. And it says this: between the date of birth and death, there lies a dash, a fleeting breath. A simple line for all to see, yet it tells an entire history. The dash records the love we gave, the faith we held, the lives we saved, the burdens carried, the tears we cried, the times we stood when we could have died. When all is said and all is done, and earthly races have been run, what matters most when life is past is how we lived within that dash. You know, Tom was a good friend. He had a good sense of humor. He was a hard worker. And he graduated from one of our programs, Fathers First, which was not an easy program to graduate. You had to, when it first was opened, you had to go 2 nights for a whole year, and you became a graduate. I think him and Buck were one of the first graduates of that, and he's an alumni of that program. And you know, that program, the first part stands for finding integrity, responsibility, and sobriety today. You know, we heard here today that he had some falls, but let me tell you how he stood. He stood and he fought and he did right. And when he failed, he sought help. And that counts for me. He taught us that this word right here, integrity and responsibility and sobriety today. He made us proud at Father's First. And we have a watch that we gave to the graduates, because in Father's First we taught this to them, that time, T-I-M-E, spells love. The time you spend with your family, the time you spend with your kids. That's what we drove home in that program that he graduated. So I wanted to present this to Nicole. And Sherry, if you give it to her when she's here. But it's for the family. It's not for just one person, but y'all can fight over it if you want. But I just want you to remember, when you're holding that watch, I want you to remember the time that you spent with Tom. And I want you to remember those good memories, because he didn't fail us. He did well. And God's got him today. God bless you for coming. They have food over at the house. Come celebrate with us, eat with us, fellowship with us. We are after you. Amen. We would love to have you at church. Any of you here are welcome. God bless you today. Here's Nicole. God bless you.